Hello and welcome to Golden Dongle, quest for the Golden Dongle. My name is Ivy and my pronouns are she, her. I am joined here by my co-conspirator, Jorge.
Hello, I'm
Hello.
Jorge. I am Jorge.
Me be Jorge.
Me be Jorge. Me pronouns be he, him.
He, hims.
He, himbos.
Big himbo energy.
I am 100% Himalayan.
Himboland.
All right, Ivy.
So it's been a minute.
What are we doing today? What are we doing today,
Oh,
Ivy?
well, today we are, first of all, first and foremost, we are continuing our search for the Golden Dongle, which I don't think we have found. I think we've lost it numerous
Come
times.
on.
It ended up in somebody's butt, maybe. I don't know. I think your mic cut out after I said that.
Yeah, sometimes my mic, if I scream too loud, my mic is like, okay, cut it out, bro.
Yeah,
So
you were like,
that's what happened to Yoda. Yeah, when he fell. So, yes, okay. Well, first of all, how you been, Ivy?
oh, I've been exhausted, dude.
Mhm.
Let me tell you, went on a business trip this week, as I understand you did as well.
Yeah, we both
Uh,
did.
yeah. So we left on Monday, and um, that so we left Monday, got there. I didn't really work Monday, but then Tuesday and Wednesday I had full days in the office, which was very tiring because I'm not used to being in an office with people. And then no,
It sucks.
actually, I feel like I want to. No, no, no. It was Tuesday. So it was Tuesday we flew out. So I did a normal work from home day Monday, and then Tuesday we flew
Ah,
out, and then Wednesday, Thursday I worked in the office, and then Friday we headed home. And let me tell you, I am just
uh-huh.
so tired of flying. I am so fucking tired of flying. Mostly because all the goddamn flights out of Memphis are all connecting flights, so you have to take two fucking flights to get
Oh, that's
everywhere.
horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
And
I
I
would
was
hate
flying
it
to
too.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, and there I had to take two fucking planes to get there. And I'm in
You went
Memphis,
to South
Tennessee.
Kakalaki. I could have thrown a rock at you.
Yeah, they so these are two hour so there's just a 1 hour flight and then like a 40-minute flight. So it's such bullshit.
Yeah,
And
the plane gets up. It's like, all right, we're going down.
that's exactly how it was. Like it's unbelievable. And yeah, and so not only was the travel physically tiring,
Oh yeah.
a couple of times I took an Uber to the office and the Uber driver couldn't find the office.
Oh
So
goodness.
because of the way the streets are over there, and
Okay.
it's so dumb, and the whole experience was tiring. But yeah, how was your work trip?
Yeah, so I actually had quite the week. Not as exhausting as yours. Maybe a little bit, because right before we flew out to my wife's business trip, I actually was just her plus one for this one. Um, we had we had my father-in-law over
Hmm.
uh, for the weekend. So that was, it was fine. It went well, better than we thought.
Oh, good.
But socially, to me, that's like a draining experience. So already, I'm, excuse me, I'm going like, all right, I need to manage my social energy because I'm gonna have my father-in-law and his wife at the house. I gotta
Hmm.
be my best behavior. Gotta be good, Jorge, and
Yeah, I know. I hate. It's like when people are over. It's like, oh man, now I have to be like on my best behavior. I have to have manners and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I
you
have to
gotta
be in host mode.
exactly. And that not that I have a problem with that inherently. It's just that it's an exhausting thing for me. Social interactions for
Right.
me are an expenditure of energy.
Oh, me too. Like I'm fairly introverted, and it's very draining. I tend to put on like a facade in front of people, like
Oh.
especially when I'm at work and stuff. Like when I was in the office this last week, I was
Hmm.
very talkative, very outgoing, and I'm like, I guess I kind of conditioned myself to do that around people in certain situations. But it's like in reality, I'm like, I'm gonna be real fucking burnt out after this.
So for me, I think over the years I found that I might be extroverted, but I have social anxiety, which is a quite a hell of a mix to have.
Yeah. No, I
Uh,
mean, I like socializing with people. It's
hmm.
just draining, and I
Yeah.
do I have social anxiety as well, and that's
Yes.
something I'm that is actually something that transitioning has helped me overcome, because a lot of it was
Really?
well, yeah, a lot of it was based on like, oh, I don't want to be social and be presenting as a
Mm.
dude, and
Hmm. Hmm.
it's very draining, and
Hmm.
but I feel a lot better doing that now. So,
Yeah. So all that being said, I had that to deal with. Went well. Went
mhm.
well. But then 2 days later, we're flying out for a business trip, and
Yeah.
already I'm like, okay, well, I gotta do it again because now we're going to like a party, and I'm gonna meet my wife's coworkers, and I want to be like, again, I want to be best boy Jorge, and it's like, I can't just make my
You can't be
silly poop humor jokes, yeah.
Yeah, you can't be Tony Soprano, Jorge.
No, no, can't do that.
You
Uh,
can't lay in bed and stare at the ceiling and walk out in your robe to get the paper.
my bathrobe. Eat a whole bowl of ice cream. However, okay. However, we this week was like a food vacation week.
Hmm.
When when my in-laws were over, I was like, we were taking them out to eat constantly, because we want to
Okay.
show them the city.
Right.
And
Yeah. You kind of have to be like the tour guide. Like I did that with my
yeah,
family when they visited Memphis recently.
yeah, exactly. So then right after we're flying over. We're going on a business trip with Margot, and we're getting the food trip as
Hmm.
well because like we met one of her coworkers who's a native of Chicago. That's where we went, and they were like let's I gotta show you Chicago pizza. I gotta show you the Italian beef, which is like a
Hmm.
sandwich they have over there. I gotta show you the Chicago hot dog, the Chicago dog, and I'm like, holy crap, we've been eating for a whole week straight, just nonstop, like very rich, very I mean, great food,
Just like,
but
yeah, it can be
I need a
heavy.
break.
Yeah.
There were days I would wake up and I'm like, I don't want to eat anything. I'm not hungry. I can't
Right.
eat anymore. I think something fell on my. What is my Xbox controller doing here? Anyway, so
Well, it sounds like you had a very demanding week as well, and full of
yeah,
food.
at the very least, that was like the silver lining. We had a really good. We basically had a cheat week because like both me
Yeah.
and Margot are trying to watch our diets lately.
Oh,
Uh,
I mean, dude, like, let me tell you, that's literally my wife and I too. We're like, we fucking love eating, and like,
Mhm.
I gained 20 pounds since transition.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got a lot of girl fat.
Oh, it does the estrogen do that? Like, is that
Hmm.
a? Oh,
Yeah, it can slow down your metabolism. It does pack on the fat because women get fatter.
yup.
And
Hell yeah.
yeah, so I got some big. I got a big ass and thighs now compared to.
Let's go.
I used to look like a stick figure, and now I look like. No, I
Now
mean
you
it.
look like a stick figure, but with thighs.
No, I mean I like it. Like, don't get me wrong.
Okay, good.
I'm fucking loving it. I love having
Nice.
a big ass and thighs and shit.
Good job.
I know it's like a big accomplishment. It's
Yeah.
a little bit titties, but I'm gonna need some help in that department. But yeah, no. One of the best places I got fat was
Hmm.
on my face.
Oh,
Female pattern fat distribution in the face. So
that is a
that's what
term.
that's what makes your face look feminine when you take estrogen. So fat
Oh,
redistributes, makes your face look smoother and more feminine. So that's essentially why women's faces look different than men's, but for the most part, it's because they have
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
feminine pattern of fat distribution. So you know, that's
Okay.
yeah, and that was a big thing for me. Um,
Crazy how the body's like, all right, switch it up, put
yep.
that over there, put that over there now.
Honestly, yeah, because men and women aren't very different biologically. And it's kind of funny when you think about it. Like, we all know the whole thing where it's like, oh, every male technically started out female prior to being born, essentially, like in the embryo stage.
Mm.
It's not, like, oh,
Hmm.
the whole thing, like, oh, your testes were once fucking ovaries and they just descended. It's a
No,
whole thing. Like, biology's pretty wild like that.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I never knew.
Yeah, yeah. You were once female, Jorge.
Wow, that's a thought.
And being trans is just reversing that. Like, oh, I was cooked too much.
Go
Oh,
back.
yeah, go back to the beginning. Yeah, it's interesting, and I forgot where I was going with that, but it's fun to talk about.
Well, obviously, where we're going with this is Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is where we're going, and you know, let me just say that this episode is by no means any kind of positive support for Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. It's very much for me it's going to be a hate fest. I don't know what.
This is, I think, for both of us.
Yeah.
This is.
This preface, this movie fucking sucks.
I.
So I found this article on Business Insider, random, like I did a Google search. This is just a random. This is just a random article that came up. Uh, so they wrote about Attack of the Clones, and this statement that they said about the movie, I completely agree with. So, and I
Oh, here
quote,
we go.
they
Yeah.
said, Attack of the Clones is a soulless, disjointed parade of cliches
Holy
that
shit!
took everything anyone loved about the Star Wars franchise
Oh my god!
and hid it behind wooden dialogue, junky visual effects,
Oh!
galaxy politics no one cares about,
Oh!
and forgettable characters who don't matter. And then they followed that up with at least Phantom Menace had a cool villain in Darth Maul and Sweet Sebulba.
Sweet soul.
I fucking agree with this sentiment 100%. This
Oh my
movie is
goodness.
a complete piece of shit, and anyone who likes it is not
Wow.
is not a Star Wars fan. You are a fan
I,
of fucking garbage.
you're a fan of trash fires and mediocre film. Um,
Yes.
Ivy, I have some disappointing news for
Go
you.
ahead.
Uh,
Go ahead.
my this for this episode, I watched Attack of the Clones episode 2 on
Hmm.
my VHS. I actually busted out my old tape for Attack of the
Yes.
Clones. This was the last Star Wars movie released on tape in the United States, um, and popped that sucker in to, for the first time, give it an analytical viewing. And
You really
I
looked at it with an adult
yes,
mindset this time.
yes. I put my big boy pants on, took my diapers off, and I was ready to watch this movie as an adult.
You were trying to give it a fair chance too.
Yes, and well, full disclosure before I begin, it still fucking sucks. I, but there,
So
I have
maturity didn't really help your assessment of this
I
film.
can't. Yeah, like it's really really hard. Like I was where I was going with this is that like I was there are things I found that I appreciate more this time around. They did not save the movie though. It's kind of like an irredeemable piece of media. And I apologize to the younger Star Wars fans who grew up with this movie and
Right.
loved it.
And I
But
think, I know you have a lot of findings on this movie from your recent rewatch. For me,
yeah,
I'm gonna stick to the things that I find irredeemable about this film.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be pretty concise. We don't have to retread the entire plot or narrative.
I don't want to,
Yeah,
but
and I don't either. That's why I just wanted to put that out there.
I have an 8-page document that we're not gonna get through, so we probably shouldn't.
Yeah, just feel free to skim that for the most important things.
I'll say this,
Yeah.
the things I found, like, how about we do this? I'll be like, for a good 30 minutes or so,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be a Star Wars Episode 2 defender,
Okay.
and you be the hater.
Okay.
Uh, let's make things interesting.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's fucking.
All right, let's
so,
get into it then.
already I was gonna say something and it was a critique of the movie. I don't know if I can do
Oh shit.
I can't do this.
Wait.
Because like the first thing that comes to mind
Yeah.
is how I hate Obi-Wan Kenobi in this movie.
I mean,
and I don't like Anakin either.
yeah. Well, okay, then what's your positive point? What do you like about it?
Oh my god. Okay, I guess like
What's your first one?
I think if there was a positive, like I can see how Anakin fucking hates being a Jedi. Like he hates it. It's terrible. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's nothing like he wanted. He can't do anything to like he's having nightmares about his mom dying.
Right.
And then later he has nightmares about Padme dying, and he tells every time he brings this up to anyone, especially the Jedi, they're like, the feeling's bad. Go home. Sleep it off."
Yeah,
I mean,
Yoda.
not really.
Yoda's always like, "Fuck your feelings, you piece of shit."
Yeah, like, you piece of shit desert boy. Shut the fuck up. Pick up your sword and swing it harder. And oh my god.
Yeah, like
Oh,
okay,
goodness.
like first of all, Yoda, is this is how you talk to your apprentices? Like
Yeah.
I get you, I get it that you're trying to learn them something, but like at the same time, how about a little empathy? Like
This might be going way too much into episode 3, but
yeah, but he doesn't like nobody gives Anakin any empathy.
no, absolutely not. Especially Obi-Wan, who I think is like his leader, his mentor.
Yeah, I mean he's basically daddy.
Ooh, Daddy Ewan McGregor.
Oh,
I like that idea. But like I don't think I mentioned this in the Phantom Menace episode, but like I did have a big crush on Ewan McGregor, and I just didn't know it at the time.
Wait, in Phantom Menace?
In both Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones.
See, I feel like episode 3, I thought he was really cool.
Mm.
I
I mean, I hate Obi-Wan.
I liked episode 3 Obi-Wan the best. If I had to pick my favorite,
He sucks too.
I don't know. He seems cool compared. I like his look compared to episodes 1 and 2.
Oh sure, I'll give you that.
Yeah, he's got like the nice hair and the nice beard. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Ewan's a cutie.
Oh yeah.
That was my
He's a pretty boy.
one of my like. I like this guy, but I don't know why at the time.
me like boy.
That happened a few years later.
Huh?
Not yet.
Huh? Me like boy.
Why Obi, like, because the more I think about like this is one of my big prequel issues.
Yeah.
Overall, like 1, 2, and 3, is that I don't like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't think Obi-Wan Kenobi is a good master. I don't think he's a good person.
He sucks.
I think he kind of sucks. He stinks, and I don't like him.
He's bad. He bad man.
Yeah, because especially because of the way he treats Anakin.
Yeah. Okay. So then, what's a good thing? What's a good thing then about the film?
I'm getting to that. Hold on. Good thing about film. I like when the bomb go boom.
You mean the fucking the mines that Jango Fett used?
Seismic charges.
The seismic charges. Yeah, they're like.
Yep. I love that. Like that scene in the theater. That was fucking amazing. I still remember that was a highlight for me.
Yeah, this is how bottom of the barrel the good things are that we talk about. Like, One fucking shot of visual effects as like
They're
the
cool
coolest
shit
part.
in the movie. I mean, I get like there's a dude when they show the separatists talking and there's a robot dude and he twists a knob on his shoulder or
Oh, the
something.
Techno
That's
Union
fucking
guy,
cool. Yeah, the Techno Union. That's fucking cool.
where he's like, "Oh,
Well, the Techno Union will support your army.
Techno Union will suck your cock."
What does that mouth do?
Darth Tyrannus will suck your cock.
Jesus. Okay, but
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, all right, I guess. Fucking Techno Union and banking clan,
They're
like, oh, it's
awesome.
such bullshit. The separatists are such
cool.
bullshit. No,
All right, here we go.
No,
Here we go.
man.
Yeah,
no,
we did
man.
it.
Fuck
We
that.
found the thing. Let's fucking do it. Okay. I think the separatists. I wrote down
Fuck
every
the
member of the
no.
separatists.
Stop
They're fucking
it.
awesome.
Stop.
The Senate sucks. It's true. So they fucking left. They dipped the fuck out of there. They peaced out.
Yeah, but they use like fucking. What are they even doing? Like,
They made the Death Star. They were making the Death Star. They're like, here's a giant ball that blows up planets.
wait, okay, so were they like
listen to us.
were they like financing the Death Star or some shit?
No, they were building it. Like they were actually like this is a thing that happened in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
The Geonosian gives Count Dooku, who is the leader of the Separatists, he gives him the blueprints for the fucking Death Star. The Techno Union and the Geonosians were like working together to build this thing so that the Senate would fucking listen to them. And guess what?
Yeah.
The Emperor took they stole it. The Empire stole the Death Star from the Separatists.
Jorge.
It's crazy.
Jorge,
Yes.
I fucking hate that I understood every single thing you just said.
Well,
Yeah,
Listen.
like, okay. They're such a nebulous enemy. Like, remember, these are kids movies, right? These are not like highbrow entertainment films.
not really, no.
And yet George Lucas came up with these convoluted, real life inspired fucking like fucking bankers and shit that are like villains.
No, okay, you have to hear. So here's the thing. The Separatists are like
Right,
seceding from the Senate.
They
and
are.
the Senate does suck. But George Lucas made sure that every Separatist is like the worst fucking person. Here are the members of the Senate or the Separatists.
Oh yeah, we got Jar Jar in there. We got E.T. and
No,
and
no,
the
no, no. That's the Senate. That's the Senate.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Separatists are the Techno Union,
Okay,
the Banking Clan,
I know the banking clan with the guys
the
with the
Trade
big foreheads.
Federation. We know the Trade
Oh,
Federation.
you gotta
They're
love
the
my
bad guys.
homies.
But, oh yeah, yeah. Half of the droid army is the Trade Federation.
Oh yeah, you got the fucking Nemodians.
Here's where it gets hilarious. The Commerce Guild,
What the fuck is the Commerce Guild?
the
like the-
Corporate Alliance.
Oh, stop! It's just like a fucking bunch of fucking what do you call them? Fucking investment bankers that just
Yes,
want to like
yes.
fucking build a planet destroyer.
George Lucas was like, people.
Fuck Wall Street.
yeah, basically. It's like it's hilarious because it's interesting because like the Senate, you can see the corruption happening.
Sure.
So you would think the Separatists are kind of like they have a point, right? But also George Lucas was like, no, they all fucking suck too.
Oh yeah, they do. They're all fucking. They're all corrupt. They're all ineffective. They're all just terrible.
They're all greedy.
So-
And Sidious knew this. This is why he was able to pull the strings efficiently.
Right. Yes.
There you go. There's another
Sidious.
good thing I can say about Attack of the Clones. I feel like I understand. Oh, okay, no, never mind. I take it back. Fuck. When the movie starts and they start talking about like the Republic has no army and the Separatists are gonna like come get us any minute. What do we do?
Right.
And the Senate is like, well, we can't approve an army because reason.
Because
They're like, where could we possibly get an army from?
oh.
No one wants it apparently, except for Palpatine. Why does he want an
I
army?
don't know. He
Listen,
sent some Jedi guy to make a clone army one time.
and Palpatine's like, listen, I can. Well, Palpatine is he's Supreme Chancellor. He's not Emperor yet.
Yes.
Uh,
And
but
fucking Jar Jar voted to give him emergency powers. That son
yes,
of a bitch.
so that way he could approve the creation of a clone army. However, I don't. What I don't understand is like
Yeah.
there's a crisis, and the Senate is just like, nah, we're good. We'll be
good.
fine. We saw how these dudes have like millions of robots, but they're not gonna like do anything. It's fine. And
Except for
Palpatine's
that.
like,
Except for the fucking war on Naboo.
yeah, like so that they forgot about that 10 years ago. Too long.
Yeah. Well,
Any-
I don't know what that is
Yeah.
anymore.
So Palpatine's like, give me all the power, and I can solve this issue.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, I don't know about that. And then that's kind of sus, my guy. And then
Yeah. Julius
Jar Jar's
Caesar.
like,
Julius Caesar
wait,
power grab.
everybody! But what if we do? And then they all go, holy shit, the fish man has a point.
Misa give emergency powers to fuckface.
Misa give emergency powers to guy that obviously looks like he's up to no good. And everyone goes, he has a point.
Do it.
Do it. Which is, again, like, for as much as I defend the politics of episode 1, the politics of episode 2 are like,
Pee pee poo
they
poo.
did really push it to like, okay, now this is a little too fucking crazy. Like, there's no way this would fucking happen.
Yeah. Also, since we're like in the positive realm of commentary,
Okay, sure. Are we?
well, yeah, sorta. But here's the thing. So here's a couple of things that I kind of liked real quick. The intro, they have like that bombing when the what's her name, Padme and
Padme
and her double and her
double
dies. She dies in the explosion. That was pretty brutal for a.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal for a Star Wars film. I was surprised at that scene. Also, the whole sequence in the beginning was kind of good, sort of, with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and they go into the bar, and the guy tries to sell them death sticks, and they're trying.
My bad. Hold up, before you get to the death stick, I know the death sticks part is very important.
I mean,
I need to correct myself. Corday was the first double,
right,
the one that died, not Dorme. Dorme is later.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, go on, Ivy. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, so there's only a handful of things I like in this movie, and I think the beginning sequence where they're guarding Padme and Zam Wessel's trying to assassinate her, and she's just like, all right, I'll just put some fucking bugs in your room, they'll kill you. And then R2D2's just like, wow, them's is bugs. And then like fucking Anakin and Obi-Wan are like, do you sense that? I did. Oh, let's go. And then they like rush into the room and just fucking 86 the centipedes that are about to kill her.
Like, what if Padme was like...
And then Obi-Wan jumps out a fucking window.
Okay, first of all, I hate that so much. I don't know why. Obi-Wan jumping off the window is the dumbest... The point in this movie becomes absolutely idiotic is when Obi-Wan jumps out the window.
Yeah. It's just kind of like...
That to me is something that Anakin would have done, not Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? Like,
the movie almost started with like a really cool tone to it, with like the assassination, and then the, you know, like I said, Zam Wessel using the what do you call it, the millipede things to kill Padme. Like, it had a dark tone to it at first.
A little weird. Where did you get that worm?
I don't know. But fucking... And then they do the Coruscant chase, and it's really fake looking and stupid, and they get electrocuted, and fucking Anakin goes sky surfing and base jumping, and the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You touch on something very important. So Obi-Wan first. Let's not forget that Obi-fucking-Wan Kenobi jumped out of a fucking window.
I see Obi-Wan, and he looks scared.
He jumped out of a window to reasons again. I don't
For
know what his
reasons. Well,
like. I don't
wait,
know what
was it
his Jedi
Anakin? Wait,
powers tell them.
was it
What
Anakin or Obi-Wan that just immediately jumps out the window to catch the
Obi
droid?
fucking Wan jumps out. Not something you would expect Anakin, like a brash Padawan, to do.
Oh, fuck me, it's so
Instead,
dumb.
it's Obi-Wan. Instead of Obi-Wan like kind of using force to
Yeah.
control the little probe droid or whatever. No, he jumps out the window. Anakin follows after him so that we can have a scene of him going, I didn't like all the cars they had. I wanted to pick one with the blah, 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 blah." And then here's what the thing is, they lose. Oh, I do like the industrial district they fly through. That's pretty cool
Yeah, it
looking.
just looks like Blade
Uh,
Runner.
I Yeah, Blade Runner did it better for sure.
Oh, we're gonna
But
have to do a
the
Blade Runner episode.
really okay, I'm down.
I love
Did you
Blade.
like the sequel?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, all right.
The first one's amazing, but you know,
Okay, then we should do one.
yeah,
So
because
here's the
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
Ivy.
Go ahead.
Please let me tell you because
Go
pisses
ahead.
me off so much.
Go ahead.
Obi-Wan
Mm.
stays in the car and he's like nagging. He's doing his nagging Obi-Mom Kenobi. Like he clearly went that way. Also, they're misgendering the fuck out of Zam Wessel. He clearly went that
Oh
way.
God.
And then Anakin's
Fucking
like,
Obi-Wan
shut
being a
the fuck
turf.
up. Yeah, fuck this. Jesus. So Anakin jumps out of the fucking car, and you know what Obi-Wan has the fucking spine to say right now? I hate it when he does that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like,
He did say
motherfucker,
that.
a minute ago, you did the same thing! What the fuck? I don't understand this movie. I don't understand this movie.
That's just the plot device of Obi-Wan hating Anakin
Oh my god.
just to beat on him and drive him to the dark side.
Yep, just to be a nag. Like, Anakin went evil because Obi-Wan's a nag. It's insane.
Okay, so all right. I feel like I personally have mostly run out of positive things to say about this movie.
Wait, you didn't like Padme's outfits? They were great.
Oh yeah, no, she had that cute halter neck thing that she wore when they were on Naboo. That was cool. I like
That little
that.
dress she had when they were like in the
Yeah, the black thing
the
when it goes
rainbow
over,
type. Oh, the black one is the
the
sexy
black
one.
one. That
The
one, yeah. That's the one I
the
like.
one I like. Well, I like. There's two of them I like. I like the sundress that she has when Anakin's creeping on her and talking
In the
about
field.
sand and shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, when they're doing their
it gets in my ass.
when they're
I don't
having a when they're having a frolic on Naboo.
That's no. Before that, that's a good one. But before that, when Anakin's like, I don't like sand. It gets in my balls. And
Gets in my crack.
and then Padme's like, stop creeping, bro. And he's like, oh, but you're hot and shit. And then like he tries to, that dress she's wearing in that scene is great. I love it. And then when she's in disguise actually in Tatooine when they by the way they go back to fucking Tatooine again.
Because of
And,
course they do.
and ran into our boy Watto. I cannot believe I made another movie. Oh, I'm full of flies and I'm a stinky.
Shit everywhere.
I shit to myself. And then, but the disguise Padme has for that scene is cute as fuck.
I
don't know.
gotta look at it again because I can't remember.
I don't know. She looks cute.
I must
in
have.
a-
Okay, so there was a large portion of the film I fell asleep through it when I did my rewatch recently. Yes, I fell asleep through the entire love sequence.
Oh.
So I missed that part when they go on vacation. Honestly, not really an important part of the movie. It's
Okay.
it's forced, it's terrible. Anakin's a creeper, like we just said. He's like 17 and putting the moves on her, and like he's gross.
He's actually.
Is he like 20 or something?
20? Yeah, he's 20.
He doesn't seem 20.
He was 10 in Phantom Menace.
I know, but
And-
it's just mentally he doesn't seem 20.
I guess not. No, and that is kind of part of like. Okay, here we go. I'll say good things finally.
Yeah.
Part of his whole like tragic character is that he never really had the chance to grow up to be a normal kid.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, and the Jedi took that away from him. He didn't have a chance to like to grow up with a mother and grow up with like
Yeah.
a girlfriend and like not have all of these things that I think is what he really wanted. He just didn't want to be a slave, and he took like the first opportunity to like get out of that shit. Um,
Yeah, too bad like the Jedi are child abusers.
they're horrible, and that's the thing. Like the Jedi, by the time the Jedi inducted this like over 9,000 power level kid,
Over
they were corrupt.
9,000.
They were corrupt, and Yoda actually brings up in one scene like the Jedi have grown arrogant, like it's becoming a more common problem. He didn't say it; he said it in his Yoda way, right? But I can't paraphrase.
Stupid
So
bitches the Jedi are becoming.
punk ass bitches they are now.
Real uptight.
Little shit, give the belt, I must. So
Corporal punishment makes Jedi good.
real country used to be. So fucking boomer Yoda.
But my house I bought for 10 acorns. I did. All right, we're really off track now.
500 years ago it was. Good times they were.
Oh, God. Boomer Yoda.
So
Avocado toast you should not eat.
holy shit. So where was the fuck was I?
No, wait, I got one. Grandchildren I never will have.
Son of mine failure he is.
Oh, God.
Influencer, not real job.
Hit pavement and look for job you must.
Oh my god.
Vote for Trump. I will.
Wait, hold, where is it?
Oh.
There we go. So,
Oh, God.
anyway,
Oh.
Anakin. So this is the one. The best thing I will say about episode 2 is that watching it again. I'll just pull out my ass in the sleeve or however they call it. The best thing about episode 2, rewatching it now, is that I kind of understand the tragic relationship between Padme and Anakin a little better. Ironically, it's because I watched some of the deleted scenes that were in the end of the tape that I don't know why they got deleted. There's way more development between the two in deleted scenes that I feel were important to the movie, but I guess they had to get cut because we needed to watch like Yoda flip around a third time.
Yeah, I guess it needed to get cut because we couldn't do a 3-hour runtime.
We can't do a 3-hour runtime.
It's already two and a half fucking hours.
We absolutely need the scene with Dexter Jettster. We absolutely need.
We're gonna talk about that now. Okay, so Obi-Wan goes to.
What have I done?
Obi-Wan goes in his search for the missing planet of the cloners.
Obi-Wan.
He finds a fucking 1950s diner complete with waitress robots that have a New York accent.
Do you want some Jawa juice?
Because fucking Star Wars has a 1950s. Why is American 1950s diner a thing in the Star Wars universe?
Because George.
It shouldn't be a thing.
George likes it.
Oh,
He thought it'd be cool.
God damn it.
He went to a diner and he went, I want a diner in my movie too.
Oh, really? We needed a diner in this scene, and I really wanted to make it like a 1950s diner because I made this movie American Graffiti, and I really wanted to put some cars in it, and that's why Anakin in the beginning is fucking cruising around with Obi-Wan because American Graffiti.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay, I'm done.
But yes, the diner was. I will never forget. I mean, and this is a line. This is a line that I live by. I'll never forget this thing that George Lucas said in the special edition interviews, where he's like, "Some things you do for narrative intent, some things you do for to like expand the world, tell like world building,
Mm-hmm.
and some things you do for whimsy, like things you just think are cool.
Mm.
And the diner, I think he wanted it to serve the narrative and the world building purpose, but all it did was this is there because I think it's cool.
It's
There's
the it's
no
it's there because he
point.
has a special place in his heart for the 1950s in America.
Exactly, and he wanted to put that in there somewhere because,
Oh,
the prequels, and we know this, the prequels were intentionally supposed to have like a degree of corniness to them, from like the old era of film and serials, and
sure. The Flash
it
Gordon.
precisely, yeah, exactly, precisely what you said, like the 50s that time,
Right.
and
Uh,
that's fine. It's fine. Do we care? Not
mm,
really. We
okay.
don't.
So, all right. I'll say that another good point possibly in the movie is Anakin murdering a bunch of sand people.
No, Ivy, that's terrible.
Well, here I mean, okay. I get
That's
it.
what
I
made
get
me
it. They
sad.
tortured and killed his mom. That was fucked up. And I get
It
it.
was.
He flew off the handle because of that and killed everyone in sight. That's the dark side taking over, and I guess
Yeah.
that was a good enough reason for him to turn dark in that moment. Um, as opposed to, when we get to Revenge of the Sith, I will give you my opinion on Anakin's turning into Darth Vader, which was not as well done as that. You see hints of
Oh,
Darth
hey,
Vader in this film,
guys,
and
we have a
honestly,
good thing to say about Attack of the Clones. That's awesome.
yeah, I mean that's probably the only thing because then after that, okay, there's the whole Geonosis sequence, and
Okay.
yeah, the whole fucking thing is a giant cartoon from that point on until the end of the
Hmm.
film,
Hmm.
and a really bad cartoon. Like all the clone troopers are fucking CGI. Why in God's name did they make all the clone troopers CGI? They look fake as fuck now.
Yeah, they look like a PS2 game.
It looks like a PS2 game. Everything is, I call it the glow stick rave party because everyone just is shooting
Yeah,
lasers and flailing their lightsabers.
yeah, it's a Jedi party.
I just can't deal with it. And the Geonosians or whatever you call them, Genosians, or they just
Geonosians. Yeah, actually, I don't know. Actually,
they're I don't like them. Not only do they look very fake, they're just not a very captivating type of creature design. They're just kind of like bug guys with like crusty faces.
my opinion is like they would be cool and interesting if there weren't like a shit zillion of them in like every other scene. You know what I
Also,
mean? Like,
yeah, and they could have made them with puppets. They didn't have to rely on CG for that
yeah, they
shit.
would have looked awesome as
That
animatronic or
that would have
puppet.
been fun. It would have been
Yeah.
almost like Return of the Jedi. Like there's a lot of puppets in that movie, and it looks great.
Yeah, yeah. So I have something to say about the Tusken Raider massacre that Anakin perpetrated.
Yeah,
I think I used to hate the scene right after where he comes to Padme and he's like, I killed them and I murdered them," and Padme's like,
and the women
"Uh,
and the children
they're animals, and
and the
I
animals.
fucked them like animals." Whoa, Anakin, what the fuck?
What did you do?
Jesus Christ. Anyway, but no, he like confesses to Padme what he did, and Padme. I used to hate these scenes because she was like, "Oh, that's cool, bro," and I was like, "No, that's not cool. That's bad.
Yeah,
He did a bad
she
thing."
just kind of gently touches his shoulder. It's like,
Yeah,
you just murdered a
and
bunch of natives.
right, and I used to hate that scene, but like watching it again, I feel like the what Padme is doing to Anakin is something that he needed this whole time, which is like have somebody that will not judge them, that they can be vulnerable towards. I don't know why I'm they theming Anakin. I
He does have
don't
big they them energy.
know. So I like
He's very
he's
he
being
they.
open. Good for him. So yeah, he's being very vulnerable toward her, and for the first time in his life, he's no someone isn't nagging at him about how horrible he is and how terrible he's being, even
Right.
though he did do a legitimately terrible thing. Padme is giving him something he doesn't have, a space of non-judgment.
Yeah.
And watching the scene again, this is one thing I'll say about the movie that's good. I began to understand, and this is what I was gonna get it to earlier. I began to understand Padme and Anakin's tragic relationship a little better. Like Padme sees that Anakin needs some like a space to be vulnerable, and she feels for him. She feels compassion towards him. There's a scene they deleted, and I hate that they did this because it's like explains why Padme is the way she is. She tells Anakin about her previous missionary work that she used to do when she was a kid with like her dad. Uh, and they would go to other planets and help other tribes and other cultures thrive. And she tells him about a time when they tried to do that and they failed. Like a whole species of alien died because they couldn't save them. And I'm like, holy shit, that's an important character moment that was shelved. It was put
Wow.
into the fucking it was put in the fucking cutting room floor. And
And that would have given her a lot of depth. I love that.
yes, and it would have explained why she feels so compassionate towards Anakin. Like because she has no reason to be. She's like he's like scary as fuck. He's creepy. He's terrible. But like she doesn't care because she knows that what he needs is compassion right now. Uh
Yeah.
because the thing that I hate is that George Lucas wants to have like a Romeo Juliet thing where like I'm a senator, you're a Jedi. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Just do it in hiding. It doesn't matter. You'll be fine. But no, that has to be the tragic point, and I hate it. It's so like weak. It didn't work. Instead, I really wish they pushed for the compassionate angle, like Padme is being non-judgmental to Anakin, which is what he wishes the Jedi would do for him. And they're not. The
Right.
Jedi are super judgmental. They scrutinize every fucking breath he takes, and it's horrible. He hates it. He can't even go see his mom. When he does, she dies. So he's like, "Fuck the Jedi. I hate them all." I think that's what he meant when he said like, "I hate them." I think he wanted to say the Jedi, not the Tusken
Probably.
Raiders.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, and that part to me was like, if there's one big nice thing I can say about Attack of the Clones is that I kind of understand now why Padme wants to love Anakin and why Anakin loves Padme.
Right.
Uh,
And
that-
but I think you need that additional cut scenes to reach
kind of
that
do.
conclusion.
You kind of do. And again, I don't know. They had to delete it because we have to watch Jango Fett poop out another seismic charge, which is fine. It's
And
cool.
we have to see more Coliseum fighting for some reason.
Yeah, we have to see because like Gladiator made a lot of fucking money, so George wants to have his own Coliseum
It's
fight
so
too.
fucking stupid. And like and the creatures look dumb. The ones that they fight, they have like
Oh,
the cat
I'll
creature.
disagree. I love them.
Oh, it's a
actually.
fucking rhino. It's a fucking pickle rhino and
I,
what do you call it? Like a turtle spider scorpion
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like a fucking uh kitty cat with spider face.
that's my favorite one. The spider cat.
Oh,
It's the best.
whatever.
I love him.
They're terrible. They're all terrible. And then yeah.
I mean,
Th-
they're
that-
all 100%
the
like
Coliseum-
video game monster.
Yeah, well, they look cheap as fuck. And the CG just doesn't help anything in this movie. And like there's so many places where they could have done better, but they were just really heavily into the throes of early 2000s the headiness of like we can use computers for this now.
True.
Ooh.
Yeah, true.
Well, boo. And then it's like fucking just everything's just a green screen void the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's anytime I see a movie that overuses green screen, I'm like, this is like, I always think of Attack of the Clones.
it just takes you out of it, and it just looks very flat. Like it's supposed to look 3D, but it just comes across as like I don't know. It just doesn't have a certain depth to it. I can't explain
think-
it.
I know what you mean. There's and because we have like better TVs now, it's even
Yeah.
more obvious that it looks bad. But I think you hit it right, the nail on the head with like explaining that they were just flexing. They just wanted to show you like, look at what we can do with all this tech. We can make Yoda have hair, and we can make Yoda have wiggly ears and a wiggly neck gizzard. You know, like
Gizzard. Yeah, like fucking okay. And then at the very fucking end of the movie, when they have all the clones lining up and the fucking proto star destroyers taking off, and it's like playing the Imperial March. It's supposed to give you the feels, but it just looks like garbage. And all the fucking stormtroopers, you can see polygons on their helmets, and they look like garbage. And
Yeah, the way they reflect lighting looks super CGI.
they look
and
very
insane.
CG. It's
Yeah.
complete garbage, and the movie's a big
Complete
wasteful, a
garbage.
big ass wasteful cartoon. The
So
pace,
hard.
the pacing is
Oh
terrible.
my god, yes. Okay, if there was one huge problem I have with this movie, it's that it's boring as fucking shit.
It's so fucking boring.
It's so boring. This is what makes it the worst Star Wars movie.
They
I'm
re-
so fucking bored.
they refuse to have fun in this movie, and they made
Everything is so stiff and wooden, and nobody's like the only time anyone emotes is when when bad things happen, and it just doesn't give me any excitement. There's no thrill. Phantom Menace even did this better. It's
I
crazy.
I like Phantom Menace, and we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we
I
both share a fondness for episode one.
I not only does it kind of encapsulate a certain time in my life,
Mm-hmm.
that I have a fondness for.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the excitement of things being new when you're a kid,
Yeah, yeah.
and that movie really embodies that. The
Mm-hmm.
Phantom Menace and being in elementary school and being like just real hyped about things you're into. It kind of captures that feeling for me, and a feeling that I really don't have too much anymore as an adult.
Oh,
Yeah, it's sad, especially when you get
yeah.
depression.
Oh,
but
well, yeah.
and Attack of the Clones was just kind of a lukewarm fart in comparison.
It really was.
Like I remember when it came out, and then I saw it, and I'm just like, even as a kid, all right, I must have been like 13 or 14 when I saw it, and I was just like,
Oh, it's
well,
15.
yeah, I must have been 14 then, and I was just like, well, that was a movie, I didn't like it.
Interesting because when I first watched it in the theater, I loved it.
Oh,
I came out like
ew.
hooping and hollering, being like, "Did you see Yoda? Did you see the Django? Did you see Mace Windu?"
Yeah, well, it was 2002, so we can excuse that.
I loved it the first time I saw it for sure.
Oh God, I just, it's an excessively boring movie, and
Yes, that is the biggest flaw.
they just can't find an interesting storyline to tackle in some of these
Hey, okay,
parts of the prequels. Like,
I wrote down what I think they should have done. Hold on, hold
okay,
on.
go ahead.
This part I will read because
This will be your closing statements on Attack of the Clones.
why don't you keep sharing some of your thoughts while I look for it?
Well, in closing, because
Oh, so we're done.
well, I mean, I've kind of exhausted what's good about the film, which is not very much. And sometimes you have to take the L, Star Wars, you tried. George Lucas, you tried. But, it was a big fucking failure. Sometimes people, I get it. Everyone has different tastes. Some people grew up with this movie, like they were even younger than me when they saw it, and
Yep.
it's a special movie to them. Like, good for you. I'm sure
I,
there's movies that I like that you don't like, and you're like sucking episode two's cock. So like, go ahead. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me if you like episode two. I'm just saying it's not a good movie. That's my closing
okay.
remark.
Well, yeah, and I mostly agree. And I think a lot of people that like this era of the prequels, they might have also been exposed to like the Clone Wars cartoon, the
Mm-hmm.
CG animated one, which is a decent show. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Uh,
Uh,
I've seen a little of it, and I've been told it's good.
it has this Saturday morning cartoon issue where like half of it is like goofy and half of it is serious, which
Right.
I will recommend half of the show for that reason.
Okay.
But what I'm saying with this is that like a lot of people who grew up around the prequels also had the Clone Wars cartoon to better represent these characters,
Mm,
better represent the relationships of each one in the world.
sure.
And I think that's where the fondness for these movies comes from the younger generations.
I see.
Because it certainly is not the fucking
No, no,
movie.
no.
Anyway, I can't find the exact text that I wrote, but I do remember what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
My closing statement. I believe that this movie would have had like George Lucas could have done a better service to this movie if he just dropped the stupid mystery plot with Obi-Wan Detective Obi-Wan Kenobi, the convoluted like way to turn us the fuck around shit to just point us at what we already know.
Mm-hmm.
Palpatine's behind it all, which is my biggest problem with Phantom Menace is that we already know who the fuck the Phantom Menace is from the fucking beginning.
Right. It's literally the
And
fucking Emperor.
yeah, like I was watching Attack of the Clones, and when Count Dooku, Darth Tyrannus, comes out of his little sailboat, and he's like, we have won a victory today, Lord Sidious. And I was like, this is where they should have revealed Palpatine. This part right here, so that you could be like, holy shit, Count Dooku was like Count Dooku's master was Palpatine this whole time. Does that mean Darth Maul's master was Palpatine too? Oh my god, holy shit! Whoa! Like that would have been awesome. But no, instead, like what we get is Obi-Wan talking to Dexter Jettster, talking to some old lady that tells him your planet's deleted, fuck you, and then talking to Yoda.
If your planet's not here, then it doesn't exist.
What a fucking narc that old woman. So
yeah, she can fuck right off. Fucking librarians.
Yeah, so some stupid shit about the Jedi's archives having been deleted and Obi-Wan being like, who could have done this? Perhaps another Jedi? I'm like, yeah, no shit! Someone who in the fucking Jedi Temple did it! I wonder who! Could it be former Jedi Count Dooku? It's so, like, there is no mystery. We already know what's happening from the very beginning.
Right.
And that's why it's boring. None of it is interesting, because we already know!
So the Obi-Wan B plot is your main gripe with the story structure.
If they had just focused on the tragedy of Anakin and Padme, if they had just, instead of adding this stupid, like, run around Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm detective, I'm the worst detective ever, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and instead focused on, like, okay, well, how is the Senate just accepting the fact that an army of the Republic appeared literally out of nowhere? Like,
right.
how are they okay with this? Why is nobody questioning, hey, where did you get this army? We approved it yesterday.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Where'd this come from? I don't know. We found it.
I guess we found. Even Yoda's like, oh, army we have now. Ooh.
Yeah, like
nothing.
Okay, they were working on this for how long and nobody knew about it?
10 years. 10. Yeah, because it was as soon as Phantom Menace ended, Palpatine manipulated Sifo-Dyas into commissioning the clone army. And then the clones went like, okay, thank you, Master Jedi. Oh, there he goes. No receipt or anything. We're just going to go ahead and do this. And yeah, so because like Obi-Wan shows up and they go like, oh, you're a Jedi. Do you want this clone army?
Nah.
And Obi-Wan's like, what? Me? Okay, I guess not. It's so it's so dumb. It's like the way all of this is exposed to us. It's just the clumsiest, boring,
yeah,
incredibly like obtuse, incredibly just non-intuitive storytelling. And I just don't understand. Like, I guess the flashing lights were not enough in the end to keep me engaged. I had to sit down and pay attention to the story in order to get anything out. And I just cannot expect anyone to afford to give that much attention to it, you know?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
It's bad.
I don't know how they could have made this movie better. I mean, there is your suggestion, right? We dropped the Obi-Wan B plot.
It's the worst thing.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, and it's just solely for the fact it's very boring, and like you said, it's just shoving information we already know in our face.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. I just would have wanted something fun to happen in the movie, and I don't think that's possible because, like, I don't know. It's like I just don't like the structure of the movie, honestly. I just don't like it.
No.
It has a very punchy beginning. It has a very like strong start, and then all of a sudden it just fucking lulls and falls apart and just kind of becomes this lukewarm monstrosity in the middle.
Yeah, it's like when you leave soup out too long,
Yeah,
and a film starts developing at
the
the top of it,
film,
like a dry, like it starts
a
drying
skin,
on top.
like when there's
Yeah,
a
skin. That's what it
it
feels
forms
like.
it
It's like
forms a pudding skin.
you left the milk out too long. That's what Attack of the Clones feels
Ew. Yeah, like I don't know. And I went into it. I actually put this movie on again, and my wife and I tried to watch it, and we both fell asleep in the middle. And then
Oh,
we woke up when
that,
it was the fucking Geonosis time.
oh yeah, you were like, oh, I guess it's over.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, and the fight.
One
Yeah, go ahead.
one last good thing because you
Okay.
brought up another good point. One last thing I want to bring up. A good thing this movie can do.
Sure.
If you ever need to go to sleep,
Yes.
put put Attack of the Clones on.
Yeah, you will pass out by the time the Naboo sequence starts.
I think earlier than that, but yeah.
Probably earlier than that because I feel like after they took down Zam, I kind of passed out. I can't remember. I can't remember anything after that.
Can we start a Zam Wessel fan club?
Sure.
You're so like,
Okay, so originally the story was supposed to be different for episode 2, and I don't remember how it was supposed to be different, but I know that Aura Singh was supposed to be like the main villain in the movie, the bounty
Really?
hunter. Yeah. That's why she was in episode 1 watching the pod race.
Yeah,
And
yeah, she's the ponytail lady.
with the long fingers, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was supposed to be in episode 2, and then they killed her off screen.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about that.
No.
Yeah, so we were supposed to have like a different episode 2 to my knowledge. She could have very well been filling in the part that Zam Wessel was, so I don't know how much involvement she would have had. But I know that she was supposed to be in episode 2, and I remember before episode 2 came out reading about that when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, so she's gonna be like in the movie, I guess. That's something.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been cool. Yeah, well,
I don't know.
literally anything would have been better than this.
I know. And I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to judge. Like, okay, I definitely enjoyed episodes 7 and 8 more than episode 2.
Oh,
I need to.
we're going there now.
Yeah,
We're going
these are my
here
closing.
now.
These are my closing remarks. And
Holy shit.
episode 9, I've only seen once in the theater, and yeah. So my wife and I are currently doing a Star Wars rewatch. So we're up to. We just watched Solo, and we're gonna watch Rogue One, and then we're gonna do episode 4. So we did 1, 2, 3,
Ooh.
Solo, Rogue One, and then
You're
4.
doing chronological order.
Yeah, chronological. Yep. So, once I rewatch episode 9 against my will, I'll have something to say about that in comparison to Attack of the Clones, because I feel like I have to compare the worst movies in the series.
Yeah. I'm glad we agree. 2 and 9 are like
They're horrendous.
down there.
They're not even.
Sorry.
They're not even real Star Wars movies.
Yeah. The thing that really gets me is like I still don't know which one's worse. I actually have not sat down to have this conversation with myself. Like,
Well, I haven't rewatched episode 9. I've only seen it once in the theater.
me exactly because I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, ugh. Anyway,
so-
when we reach that
Okay,
point, yeah,
Yeah.
I will have an opinion on that.
Oh my god! I hope we never reach that point. All right.
Yes.
We managed to become a Star Wars podcast again.
Yay! We're gonna watch Attack of the Clones on Laserdisc.
Oh, there's no such thing. No.
Imagine somebody made that, like, people like make all the oh, we made a fucking new game and we put it on an NES cartridge. It's like,
I mean, people do that, yeah.
Yeah, so somebody out there make an Attack of the Clones Laserdisc and we'll watch it.
That would be.
And also send us a Laserdisc player.
that would be stupid and pointless. But I
And
guess
yeah, it would be. And also
impressive.
you would have to like flip the disc because laser discs were the movies were like split on both sides.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, like a
Yeah.
fucking record player.
Yeah, it was like a fucking record.
All right.
All right, so Golden Dongle, it's lost, right? We don't know where it is.
I thought it was in Attack of the Clones. Like I
You
thought
thought it was
for
on
a moment,
Geonosis.
I thought that C-3PO had something in his hand for a moment that kind of looked like
I thought
that kind of looked
C3PO.
like it.
I thought they attached the golden dongle to his head when his head went missing, and he got
Yes.
into robot antics. He got into these droid antics and was like
Right, which
shooting
were
guys. And
fuck.
I thought he had the golden dongle attached to his head, but it
Oh,
was just a battle droid head.
And to be sure, I even checked around his crotch area to see if it indeed, because sometimes I wonder if the golden dongle is like literally a ding dong, you know? Like,
Oh my
I
god,
don't know.
yes. Yeah, and you know what? There's a Star Wars Topps trading card from the 70s where
Oh,
C3PO has a cock. Have you ever seen it?
No! What? Oh my god, you have to show this to me. I need to see.
All right, I'm gonna put
C-3PO's
it up. I'm gonna put it up on the video, and
I need to see
I'm gonna.
3PO's piece.
Yeah, hold on. Wait. Before I need your reaction to this before we
Okay,
end the
fine,
episode.
fine. Yeah, we can edit whatever dead air is in the middle of this. But
All right, wait. I gotta. I gotta send it to you. It's horrible. It's like really bad. It's very bad. Like
I wouldn't tell that's
yeah,
a
look at it.
3PO.
Wait, hold on.
Might hurt his feelings.
I'm trying to send it to you, but it's like being a bitch. Because you really got. It's terrible. Like, tell me.
Shit. Oh shit! He is torqued up. What the fuck?
Is that the golden dongle?
I think it is. Oh my god, there it is. Holy shit!
Why is he hard?
This was proof. Why is he? Why is my boy pitching a tent? This is. I'm a little shocked. Honestly, I was not expecting.
Yeah, I'm serious. I wasn't lying. It's real. It's like a alternate card art that they had in the original set. For some reason, C-3PO had a cock. He had a big golden cock.
We found the golden dongle. It's there.
Like I still don't know why this is a thing. And I don't know if I'm looking at it right. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it might be like maybe there's like a part of the pelvis that's like kind of coming out the side.
Yeah, or maybe there's like something behind him, and it just the
Yeah,
reflection.
that it's like it just has the exact same sheen to it as like his entire body.
No, he just has a giant penis. And that's a good note to end this episode on.
Fucking shit! Now I know why Shmi Skywalker kept him around.
Oh yeah,
God.
he's basically a vibrator with extra steps.
I'll cook and clean and do you right.
Oh god, I hate it.
This is it, Ivy. This is the golden dongle.
I don't think it is.
Believe.
I think we have to
You don't-
continue.
It's
No,
literally a...
no, that's
Okay,
the golden
fine.
dong. That's not the golden dongle.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's the golden dong. That's not the golden dongle.
Damn. I thought we found it.
No,
All right.
we got to continue our
Okay.
search.
Okay. All right.
So next time we will be continuing our search for the golden dongle and not C-3PO's golden cock.
I'm looking at it like, what the fuck?
And
Anyway.
yes, until next time, thank you everyone for listening / watching our wonderful Attack of the Clones special.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
The worst Star Wars movie.
Debatably, but yes, it's down there.
Yes. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.